everything. So I'll explain how this is to be read. So when we open our file every day morning, in fact, I have already mentioned the steps to be followed by any user. The first step is click clear intraday data. So we have this button here. If I click it right now, it will only clean the graphical sheet here, because this is basically the intraday data captured by the system. I am just avoiding it to do it right now because I will use this to explain. This is yesterday's Nifty data. Step number 2 basically is to click the activate auto run button twice. So once you click it, it starts pulling the data from NSE website. Once the first round of pulling the data is over, you have to re-click it, and at this point of time it will throw a pop-up. It will ask you the desired time interval for you to instruct the sheet as to by what time you need to refresh the data. So assuming you say 5 minutes, if you punch in 5, every 5 minutes the system will go to the NSE server and pull the requisite data, and this sheet will get updated. Now, whatever you are able to see on the screen, most of these things anyone would understand what exactly that is, but then it has some meaning attached to it. So let me start with the the left hand corner where we see where I'm moving my mouse. If you are able to see, this is called Nifty CMP. Now I can safely assume everyone knows Nifty CMP means what. The importance of this CMP on this screen is actually uh, uh, to be taken note of. This is because the data here on your screen is directly connected with the CMP price. But if you see, there is a red color strike which is 14,300. Now this is basically an ATM. You please have a look. The current CMP captured by the sheet is 14,346, and the red color strike is basically 14,300, which is the nearest possible strike to it. So therefore, this red color strike on the screen will always reflect the ATM price. So one caveat which I would make here is don't try to change the links which are there in the system. I'll show you what happens if the price changes, and you will see the immediate effect on the screen. So I am manually doing it. Please do not try at your end. It may change the links. So I will take it to 14,124, and please see what happens to the red color strike on your screen. It immediately changes to 14,100, which means as and when there is a movement in the Nifty price, the sheet will automatically fetch the requisite data, and you will always find the ATM call highlighted in red color, and this ATM call would be in the center of the sheet. That means there would be 5 strikes available above the red one, and below the red one there will be another 5 strikes available. I'm just taking it back to the one levels where it was originally mentioned. So this is how this CMP is connected to the sheet. Next, immediately to CMP, you find time. Now, while anyone would guess what exactly time would mean, but for this sheet, time has a very different meaning. Now, when I say it has a different meaning, it actually means if the time reflected on your screen is say 11:30, while the actual time is say 12:30, it would mean that the data which is being reflected on this sheet is updated till 11:30 only. So therefore this time is not the system time, but this time actually indicates the time when your sheet was last updated. So keep that in mind. Then next to it is Max Payne. Now Max Payne theory is well known. Many of you would be knowing it, but in brief it actually means that based on the current open interest both in puts and calls, the expiry is likely to happen somewhere near this price. Now this could be 50 points here or 50 points there, but this is the level where option buyers will lose the maximum money. Now this also is being auto calculated based on the data available on the NSE website. So this is an important data point for us to keep an eye on. The next point which we need to know is the market direction. Now this market direction is actually calculated based on the overall put call ratio, and I have automated this market direction using the formula given by one of the markets expert. I'm not going to name those experts here because I really don't know if they would like to hear their names in private sessions or not, but I can assure you he is one of the best known name in the option uh, trading. So I have automated this, and this market direction will show you whether the current market direction is bearish, bullish, sideways, extremely bearish, or extremely bullish. So this will continuously change if there is a change in the option chain data. I will show you how it happens, but for the time being, I'm just moving ahead and coming to the main data points which are captured on the sheet. So in the center, you see we have captured different strikes. As I told you, the red one is ATM. So by just looking at the sheet, you can figure out that any red number is ATM. On the left hand side, you see basically the call last traded price for the calls on different strikes. Then next to it is basically what has been the difference since the yesterday's price, whether it is positive or negative. Then if we move a bit more left, we see change in OI. Technically, this indicates if it is a negative number, that means unwinding has happened at these levels. And if it is a positive number, it means number of contracts as reflected here is 64. It means 64 new contracts have been added at 14,400 yesterday. This is basically yesterday's data, so we'll refer that. On the further left is the total OI, which means at a particular strike level, what is the total number of options which have been written. And then finally, we have the volume. Many of us generally do not probably rely upon what is the volume, but there are players who also look at what is the volume at a particular strike. On the right is basically similar data for the put. What is the last traded price? What is the change since yesterday? What has been the change during the day? So therefore the during the day change is captured in change in OI. And what is the overall data point indicating how much is the open interest at a particular strike price. So this is just simple capturing of data. Now to help you understand why it is highlighted in different shades, green, pink and all. So let me further help you. If anyone looks at this data, then the green, if you see this green highlight in the call OI data, this number is the highest number among in the series available on the screen. So which means this level is the level where highest open interest is being created by the call writers. You need not manually try to find out which is the highest number. Anything which is highlighted is the highest number. Similarly, on the put side, if you see, the highest number is at 14,200. So therefore, it is very clear that maximum put writing is happening here. Then on the left hand side, if we see the call data, during the day yesterday, the maximum call writing at 5:30 when the data was refreshed was reflected at 14,800 levels. While in the put side, the maximum put writing was happening at 14,200 levels. So this gives you a bird eye view immediately to understand where are the put writers and where are the call writers. Similarly, if you see the volume, whether it is for call or for put, the highest volume is also shaded. So the higher is the volume, the higher is the shading. The lower is the volume, the lower is the shading. So this is actually nothing but a bird eye view of the option chain which you are able to see on the screen. Now, how do we use this data is the next point for us to understand. So before we really move there and try to make sense out of this data, we also need to see that we have actually calculated strike wise put call ratio for each strike. Now, this calculation also continuously keeps changing. This also has been automated. And the significance of this put call ratio is whenever you see the put call ratio at any given strike, I have also captured the strikes here. If I am highlighting it here, if you can see that, if at any levels the PCR indicated is green, then that level can be easily seen as a possible support levels. Though, of course, if the number is less than 1.5, that level of support would be a weaker support. So in this case, if you see 2.48 is the put call ratio at 14,200. And we also find that the highest OI in the put side is also at 14,200. So therefore, this would act as a very good support if the market is to come down from 14,346. If the market falls down, the market should take support at 14,200 as the PCR is above 2. Now the higher the number, better is the support. So we are able to see if the market goes a bit more down, then at 14,100 it is likely to take support, and see at 14,000 the PCR is 10. So this is actually a very, very strong support at this levels. On the flip side, the put call ratio, which is being reflected in the red, is basically the resistance. So if we move further, we see that the number PCR 0.02, 0.01, the smaller the number, the higher is the resistance. So in this case, we see the highest call writing is at 14,500, and the PCR, if we see here, is just 0.1. So therefore, this is definitely a big resistance for market to cross. So this is how a bird eye view can be formed to ascertain where is the highest OI, where is the highest volume, and also to check what is the support and what is the possible resistance during this week. Now this data keeps on changing, but these changes are normally not very drastic. It remains you know kind of, it does change because every day people are trading heavily, but then it continuously gives you the possible market directions and the levels. Now before we move further, what more important point we need to know is what is this intraday PCR. Basically, intraday PCR is nothing but a calculation done on the basis of change in OI in the call side as well as the put side, and using the same PCR formula, we are only trying to figure out whether on a particular day more puts are being written or more calls are being written, and with this we will try to figure out what is the likelihood of the market direction today. So just one point which everyone needs to also know is,
पंकज भाई आपकी आवाज गायब हो रही है बीच बीच में.
so just give me a second. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, loud and clear, loud and clear.
Okay, right. Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
I think I lost my connection in between, so I'll just reshare that screen. Yes, please. Now is it visible?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Uh, We can't hear your voice.
Sorry. Yes, please. So the system is indicating we are likely to run out of time. I'll share another link if that happens. So we'll have to rejoin using the other link. Anyways, so let me take you forward. So when I was discussing
So
the
please
market
explain
direction,
the PCR concept.
okay.
The PCR concept, please.
So the intraday PCR, you want me to do the intraday PCR or the one on the right hand side?
So the one on the right hand side for the call side, what you said means the red ones. The voice was lagging at that time.
Okay. So the PCR calculator, which you see for each strike here on the right hand side, is highlighted in two shades. One is the red one and the other is the green one. The green one indicates the support levels, but I prefer to ignore if the number is less than 1. So I would prefer to take the number as 2, though I have actually captured the data in a manner which is suggested by some of the experts. But personally, I feel the numbers, if those are above 2, should be taken as support, while any number which is close to 1 or a little lesser should be taken as a a weaker support. It may not be a very good one. So looking at this PCR, which I'm now highlighting, all the green ones technically are support levels. The market, if there is a plunge in the market, the Nifty should take support at these levels. So in my view, I would read it that since the highest put writing is happening at 14,200 and the PCR calculation is above 2, which is 2.48 right now. So this level is likely to be a very good support. Even assuming, say for example, it breaches, Nifty breaches 14,200, the next is 14,100. Here the put call ratio is 4. So this is a much better support than 14,200, right? So on the other side, the PCR which is reflected in red is actually the resistance level. Now, the smaller the number, higher is the resistance, right? So the likelihood of Nifty breaching these levels is low. If the number is smaller, then it is further low. Now that does not mean that Nifty will never breach it. Of course, on certain days, if the inflow of money is very high for some reasons, for if there is a positive news, these levels might get breached. But unless the data really changes, these levels generally are respected. So one can easily take a clue what is the level which is likely to be a support, and based on support and resistance you can actually decide to do some positional trading as well. So now coming to the intraday PCR. Now intraday PCR I was just discussing is based on the change in OI of calls and the change in OI in the puts during the day, right? So the PCR which you see on the right hand side is for the entire data, whether it is during the day or the past data and whatever changes are happening. But the intraday PCR is purely based on the changes which are happening during the day. Now this intraday PCR we use uh, to figure out what is the likelihood of the market direction today. I'll explain how it happens when I explain the chart on your right hand side, which is the intraday chart. Before that, I'll just scroll a bit down and show you there are two graphs which you are able to see. On the left hand side is a graph which is indicating that total number of calls and total number of puts. If we see the total number of puts here are more than the total number of calls, graphically one can make that the tower for put OI is taller than the call OI. Of course, if we scroll the mouse here, you will see the total numbers in lakhs. 85.57 lakh calls have been written in the entire available option chain. And on the put side, it is 1 crore 10 lakh 66,000 puts have been written. So looking at this graph itself, one can make that the Nifty is bit bullish because there are more put writers in the market than the call writers. So this is one interpretation. The right hand chart indicates the intraday changes which are happening, and we see the number of puts written are much higher than the number of calls during the day. Again, this is also indicating that the market is bit bullish during the day. Of course, so one thing which I'll highlight again here is uh, post 2:30 yesterday, there was a huge change in the OI, and therefore we find the call tower is much lower than the put. Maybe tomorrow when you see in the market, you will see they might be very close to each other, but then any tower which is taller is indicating what is happening during the day. So let me also take you to the chart on the right hand side, and how do we interpret that. So one thing I will again request everyone to see every day is this dotted lines. Sometimes when you open your files, they move here there. So I have actually, in my original file, I have kept the dotted lines at 2 and -2, and the solid lines at 3 and -3. Now, this graph also is actually a graphical representation of a formula given by an expert who is every day there on TV, Z Business. So he had given some basic understanding how to evaluate and analyze the data. So based on that, I have actually done an automation with the help of one of our friends who is there in the session today, Arun. So how do we understand this? So basically this blue line which you are finding here is nothing but a line which is being created based on every 5-minute changes which are happening in the intraday PCR. So whatever data you see here, if I have given the refresh time interval as 5 minutes, so whatever figure comes here is plotted by way of a line chart here for me to ascertain what is the market direction. Now, how do I do that? I'll explain. Another important point for usage of this file is we need to start this file only after 9:25 or 9:30, because in the initial 5-10 minutes, generally NSE does not update the option chain because a lot of activity is happening and there is a bit of delay in NSE updating that data. So when we start, say for example at 9:30, then in the next 5 minutes you will find some dot being created here in this chart, and then every 5 minutes, if you see, this is increasing, the time is being captured and a particular kind of a line is being drawn. So how do we read this? So yesterday when I started this file at 11:01, the intraday PCR was indicating a value of about 4.3, which was much above 3, which means what? So it actually means if the intraday PCR starts moving from the 0 level and touches 2 and breaches 2, then we can very safely say that market has now attained a bullish tone. It may not be very bullish for the day, but it has attained a bullish tone. So at this level, if suppose the blue line starts from 0 level and starts moving towards 2 and breaches 2, then at this level, for intraday players, they may consider buying a ATM call and then selling 1 strike or 2 strikes above that. So one can create a bull call. If suppose so we were actually discussing the right hand side intraday trend analyzing. So as I told you, if we just keep an eye on the dotted lines and and the solid lines. So based on where the blue line is moving towards, we can decide to do our intraday trades. If the line is between -2 to +2, and suppose it is hovering around, that means the market during that day would be sideways, and we can decide to do some strategies which are sideways strategies. Here, please keep one thing in mind. This intraday trend is different than the market direction. Now, as the nomenclature is very clear, intraday is only for that day, but the market direction is not for that day, but it is based on the entire data available on the NSE website, which we have pulled, and it shows a larger direction rather than the intraday direction. So that needs to be kept in mind. So we also see there are a number of sheets down below, sheet 1, sheet 2. Now sheet 2, if you see, is a bit more data for those people who want to actually, rely on more data rather than the 5-line items above and 5-line below. If someone really needs to have more data, analyze it. So on the sheet 2, you get 10 strikes above the ATM and 10 strikes below the ATM. And we are just calculating the PCR, which is for the weeks. Basically, this PCR is being used for the purposes of showing the market direction here as sideways. So I'll show you manually, I will show you how it changes. Say, for example, let's for a minute assume that the PCR drops to 0.65, and I'm just doing it manually. And let us see how it changes the direction here. So you see that it has changed to bearish, which means then the likelihood of the market remaining bearish is high, because a very large number of people believe that way, and accordingly it indicates more calls have been written, or probably puts have been unwounded. So I will change it to maybe a little more lesser number, say 0.41, and let's see whether it changes. So it remains bearish. So basically a formula has been incorporated here to tell you what is the likelihood of the market direction remaining before the expiry. If I change it to 1.1, then let's see what happens. It says sideways. If I make it a bit more higher number, then it might show you a bullish kind of a thing. So let's see what it is showing if the number increases. So it says bullish, strongly bullish. So this is how this auto market direction continues to work. Please do not change any of these links which are there in the sheet. Otherwise, you will get wrong directions. Now, one of the tabs is also Max Pain tab. This also is auto calculating where the market is likely to expire. So currently for this week, the number is 14,300. This Max Pain is something which does not change very often, though it keeps changing, but that change is very slow unless there is a very big move. Till that point of time, this numbers generally would remain very, very static. And this can be used for doing some expiry trades. Maybe on Wednesday, one can think of making strategies which are fixed profit and fixed losses. If the expiry happens near the levels which Max Pain is indicating, and if you have created a strategy using that, that can be very, very useful. And one can make strategies where the risk reward is like 1:3 or 1:4 also. Now there is one more sheet, Nifty-2. This is basically data being captured every 5 minutes for the intraday PCR. Now this is the data which actually gets converted into a line chart, which you see on the main screen here. So if you are not able to understand how to read this or what is the exact meaning, maybe sheet 2 will immediately help you understand. See, at 11:01, the intraday PCR was much above 3, which was bullish. So I'm sure if you were trading yesterday, you would have seen market was showing bullishness. And later these numbers started coming down. From 4.3, it started coming down. So this was showing probably the interest was coming down, and accordingly at some point of time when this numbers dropped to 2.9 or something, or 2.8, at this point of time market was really coming down. So, and then suddenly at about 230 odd, this thing, you will see it again started rising, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 3. Now this was the level when one could get alerted to say, fine, it went down and it has bounced back above 3. Now this could be used for an intraday trading. Here at this level, one could have bought a ATM call and see the PCR then started moving much higher, right? So technically, from here also you can gauge what is the intraday market uh, possible movement in the next couple of minutes. So this is how we read this sheet to decide whether we would like to do an intraday trade, or if for positional traders, we can use the resistance and the support levels to decide some strategies which we can do. I have tried using this sheet for doing some expiry trades last week also, and I intend to use it further. I am not a intraday trader, but I have been doing some paper trade based on this market directions on the intraday chart. Works very well, and uh, can be used for regular trading. One can rely on this data for sure. That is there. So that's all from my side. I would now request, in case you guys have any questions, let me try to answer them.
So some examples of these strategies you were saying, I don't know if you can give some.
Okay. So Vivek, if you would like to do an intraday one, or you would like to hear some positional trading?
Actually, both, sir. If you can, please, it would be really helpful.
Okay. So I was when I was describing how to read the intraday trend. So if now I'm just going to clear the data, which I did not do initially when we started. So I'm just clearing it here. I'm just pressing clear intraday data, and you see the chart has gone. So it is something as if I have just started the day, and let's assume the chart starts moving from 0.5. The line, I can't draw it here because I don't think it permits me to draw. So just assume the chart starts from 0.5, and slowly in the next 20-30 minutes, the blue line goes and breaches to this dotted line, the green dotted line. At this level, if you want to do an intraday trade, you can buy a ATM call and sell one strike above or two strikes above that, depending upon your risk appetite. So suppose you buy a call of 14,300 at 138, then you may decide to sell 14,500 at 42, and that is how you make a bull call strategy for that day, right? If the line breaches the line at level of 3, which is the solid green line, you can consider to buy 14,300 naked call, right? So the intraday chart can be used based on that, assuming the line you find that it is remaining within a range like 0.5 to minus 0.5, it is just hovering up and down for last 30 minutes. Then the market is in the sideways movement. Then you can probably consider selling a put option at the support level and a call option at the resistance level, right? So you can very easily identify during the day the support, the highest number of put are being written at 14,200, auto highlighted in green, and the highest number of calls are written at 14,800. Now, of course, this is, since it is a 330 data, during the day, the highest call writing was happening somewhere at 14,500 or 600. So you could have sold these two options, and you could have enjoyed theta decay. So that way premium decay can be used to your benefit. Riskier players can actually sell 14,300 call and put and wait for the day to come to an end. So if theta decay happens, one can make money. Now on the positional side, there can be multiple strategies using the max pain theory, as well as also using what is the level where the market is likely to remain. So since max pain is indicating 14,300 as a possible expiry levels, what I did, I can share it with you, is I would sell 14,250 and cover it up with 14,500. So 250 points up, and then 250 points below. And that is how I will do my expiry trade on Wednesday, wait for the expiry to happen on Thursday. Why I would do it on Wednesday is because if I do it on Wednesday, then the theta decay for the calls which I am selling is very high. And in these kind of strategies, generally the risk reward is 1 is to 2.5 to 3. Sometimes if you do it well within time, and if the IVs are high, the risk reward is 1 is to 4. So there are various strategies which one can use. I hope I have made myself clear on this.
Sir, thank you very much, sir.
Yes, please. Any other questions?
Hi, Pankaj, Srilata here. Pankaj, I would like to understand the pull data is monthly option chain or weekly?
This is weekly option chain.
Okay.
And also please take note of the fact that this data is 2 to 3 minutes delayed, because the NSE website itself is 2 minutes delayed. It is not capturing the live data. And also the fact that if you have actually mentioned a time interval of 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so that lag also could be there. So whenever you are deciding to do a strategy, please ensure that you are close to the market time.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pankaj, is it possible to pull the IV data as well?
Yes, it is possible, but NSE does not update the IV during the day. It generally remains static. I have actually one of my files where I pull the IVs, but it doesn't change. It remains static during.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Pankaj.
Right. Anything else from anyone? Any more questions, please?
Pankaj, Vijay here. So it's not a doubt or clarification required, but I would like to give some suggestion. The
Yes.
work that you have done is very good, but still I want to add some more suggestions here.
Yes. Please.
So what I say is we can have multiple. Can we have multiple option chains here, like a weekly and monthly, at least for a month, not for the entire year, at least for a month. So if it is then it will be very good, because many positional traders not only rely on the weekly option chain, they also look for the monthly option chain, right? So it would be great at least if we have a next month, I mean up to January end option chain, if we have in the same sheet. So that is the one. And another one would be time I mean the time that you have given 5 minutes. So 5 minutes is very short time. So we can, I mean, we have to give a parameter like selecting time by ourselves.
Yeah.
Like
so
15 minutes, 20
Vijay,
minutes like that. So if that is added, that will be very great.
Yeah. So I take note of it. So first is monthly data. Yes, it is possible, but I find since the start of this series, some changes have been made by NSE in its website. It is not permitting pulling the monthly data. I do have those sheets where I capture weekly and monthly both. In fact, I am actually able to pull whatever data is available, even for 2022, 23, whatever. But then since January, that data is not working. So we will try to fix it up as and when finally NSE server is stabilized. Now, the other point which you have said is the time of 5 minutes. So I'll just show you. If I click activate auto run once. So let's see what happens. So it starts pulling data. Don't stop it. Let it pull the data. It will take you back to the main OI Nifty sheet. And if you click it again, as the instruction says, click it twice. Once you click it second time, it again goes back to the server, starts pulling the data. And at some point of time, before the main screen comes back, a question will pop up. It will ask you, what time interval would you like to keep? whether it is 5 minutes. So you are able to see. If I put 10 minutes here and say, okay, now the data will be pulled every 10 minutes, right? Is it clear?
Okay, yeah, it's great actually.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that. But what we can have, just very easy and simple one is, we can have a two different times. One is a refresh time and another one is a chart time. So if we give refresh time as 3 minutes, and every 3 minutes the data will be pulled. And if we have a 5 minutes as a chart time or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, so that the chart will be populated accordingly. That would be a great one. But anyway, so the sheet has a very good data, but these are the suggestions that I'm making, that I'm telling. Maybe in the next series we can have that, I would say.
I will try and figure it out with the help of my friends, whether two different time intervals can be used for pulling the data and making the graph. I'm not too sure whether it would be technically possible. I am actually not an expert in Excel, but I have done this work with the help of some of my friends, including Ravi. So I take note of it. We will try and see if we can implement that.
Thank you, Pankaj.
Yeah.
And one more final thing. Sorry to taking a long time.
No, it's
That
okay.
activate auto run, right? So that is a double. I mean, 2 times we have to click it, but we are we are not sure that is started running or not. So once that second time is clicked, so if it is disabled, so it will be easy for us to understand that the sheet is running.
I didn't get you. I mean, otherwise, let me try and explain how it happens. Once you click the activate auto run button, within few seconds, it starts pulling the data. I'm just pressing it. So therefore you are able to see something is happening. So it takes you to some data point, comes back to the main screen. If you click it again, same thing happens, but then the next time it will pop up a question to you. And the question would be, what time interval would you like to fix for the day? So it goes to the data point back, starts pulling the data and puts that question to you.
I think what he's suggesting is after you input 5 minutes or whatever time frame,
Yes.
if you can show it on the UI somewhere so that like next to those two buttons, you can show data is being pulled every 5 minutes.
Okay.
So
that
I
can
think
be
that's
done.
what he was asking.
That can
What
be done.
happened-
Otherwise, it is visible
it
on the
shows-
chart. It is
Right.
visible in the chart.
Yeah, it is
in
there.
the chart.
Correct.
So
It's
every
there.
5
Yes.
minutes, whenever data is captured, the time is also captured here. And on the sheet Nifty 2 here, which I was showing you earlier, that is visible 11:01, 11:06, 11:11,
Correct.
something like that. It is available. So you will get to know the last time. In fact, this time, whatever time is reflected here, if it is changing, that means your data is getting updated, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I understand that, Pankaj. But what happened is, the last couple of days I'm using it. So sometimes the Excel is hanging, and when I restart it, it is not coming from that point.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is coming from where it is restarted, and sometimes it is not coming. And I'm not very sure the data, the sheet is pulling the data or not. So that is why I have suggested this. Maybe I'm also working to modify these things.
Right.
Suppose if I'm able to make it, I definitely I'll let you know.
Sure. So basically what happens is only when Nifty server stops our sheet pulling the data, at that point of time, you will find that sheet might freeze, right? So there's a lot of load on NSC server. In fact, Santosh Pasi also gives some free tools which pulls data from there, and a lot of people are doing that. So sometimes it does happen. Maybe I'll try and figure out if we can fix those issues. Let's hope we will be able to do that.
Thank you, Pankaj.
Can we get the similar Excel sheet for Bank Nifty data as well?
Yeah, I have shared both these sheets in the group. I will again share it in the group. You can download it, but please don't change the names, else it will start showing errors. It won't work.
Okay, sir.
Pankaj,
Thank you.
Pankaj Shri again. For past few days, I've been using it, but once a while it throws an error. I'm not sure why. Today also, when I opened it, it says some different error. It says Windows cannot find some path. It says and identity underscore helper.exe.
So
Not sure what it is.
generally these errors would come in case you have downloaded the file twice, thrice. What happens is the first file is downloaded with the original name. The next file is downloaded with the original name and within bracket 1 is added to it. The
Oh,
third
okay.
file will be having original name within bracket 2. So if you are trying to run those bracketed named files, you will find errors. So therefore create a folder on desktop or in the document folder and save these two files there and always open from there itself.
Okay. Okay.
Don't make copies, else it will start showing errors.
Pankaj, Manish Bali this side. I
Hanji,
just
Manish
want
ji.
to know which version of Excel this Excel file support, because I'm using 2007. It is not supporting. So 2010 onwards it will support.
Let me ask this question. Parminder, you are there? Parminder, can you help answer this? Maybe Parminder is not there. So Maniji, I understand it has to be a version above 2010. And if you can see my screen, I'm just moving my mouse. There is one of the headings called Power Query. Now this is a additional Excel facility.
Pankaj, I think, he may not have downloaded that, Power Query version or,
Yes, so that is what I'm suggesting.
Power Query I have already downloaded, but still it is throwing an error that this version is not supported or something like that. So that's why I wanted to
So
check
you
whether
please
this
update. Some of us are using 2010 onwards with Power Query additional
Macros not
module.
supported.
Pardon? So our suggestion is to move your upgrade your sheet to at least 2013 onwards, and it will work.
Okay. So basically, I need to upgrade my MS Office version basically to 2013 onwards, right?
Yeah, yes, it will work.
Okay, thank you.
So yes, can